Judas made a deal with Jesus. If you get rid of the Romans, I will follow you. And many of us have similar deals with God. I'll be a good Christian. I'll go to church. I'll pay my tithes. I'll read the Bible. I'll serve you. I'll live for you as long as you give me what I expect. Ever felt that way before? Hello, good evening, and welcome in to the Holy Week podcast done by Shoal Baptist Church. Or whatever time of the day you may be catching this, I don't know. You may be listening to it at night when it's been published, or you may be catching it on your way to work the next day. I have no idea. Either way, we're glad that you are here and you are joining us for this Holy Week podcast we're going to do for the next several days as we get ready for Easter here at Shoal Creek. And we're excited to make this available. The most exciting part is, as compared to other podcasts out there, we don't have to have any sponsors. So this is going to be done commercial free, and we are thankful for that. Make this resource available to you. To kind of give you a background and context understanding, a lot of these thoughts that we're going to be talking about over the next several days stem from a study that was done by J.D. Greer, and it's entitled Easter, and that study is available on Right Now Media. Right Now Media is a resource that we talk about on a regular basis here at Shoal Creek. It's something that we pay for as a church to make available to our members and our community for free. You can create an account for free and access these studies on your phone, your desktop, laptop, smart TV. So if you don't have an account, you can go to the church website, shoalcreekbaptist.org, and there's information there to create one today. And I encourage you to do that. We have no reason or excuse today to not grow in our walk with Christ. We have so many resources available to us, and Right Now Media is one of those. So we're going to jump right on into today's episode. And I've titled the episode, Betrayed by Me. And we're going to look at a man named Judas. Ever heard of him? He's better known in Christian circles and history as the betrayer. And as I've shared in a recent blog post on who Judas was, and again, that blog post is available at shoalcreekbaptist.org. Click on blog at the top, and there's a series that I've been doing on the 12 disciples. And there's an entry out there on Judas, and I encourage you to read that at another time. But as I mentioned before in that blog post, Judas gets a bad rap for his betrayal, and rightly so. I mean, he betrayed Jesus. However, I believe there are similarities between Judas and us today as disciples of Jesus Christ, as believers today. At least in my own experience, I know that I have betrayed Jesus. There have been many times in my walk with Christ where I betrayed him. And I'll be the first one to say that. We often are consumed with anger towards Judas that we almost forget the betrayal by Peter in Matthew chapter 26. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. Both men, Peter and Judas, betrayed Jesus in their own ways, knowingly and unknowingly. Is that true for me? Yes, it is. Is that true for you? And that'll be something you'll have to answer yourself. Judas was a highly regarded disciple, so much so that he was put in charge of the ministry's money collections and distributions. They didn't just throw that responsibility around to just anyone. As I mentioned in a previous blog post, I truly believe that Judas got so frustrated that Jesus wasn't doing what he expected him to be doing, and that frustration was a stumbling block that Satan used to enable Judas to act as he did and eventually betray Jesus. J.D. Greer mentioned that, in essence, Judas made a deal with Jesus. If you get rid of the Romans, I will follow you. And many of us have similar deals with God. I'll be a good Christian. I'll go to church. I'll pay my tithes. I'll read the Bible. I'll serve you. I'll live for you as long as you give me what I expect. Ever felt that way before? JD called that our price. Judas had a price, and it was 30 pieces of silver. What is your price? What has been my price before? Peter was the one whom Jesus said, "Upon you I'll build my church." Matthew chapter 16 verse 18 tells us that. But Peter betrayed Jesus through his denial of knowing and associating with him. Listen, we've all sinned, we've all betrayed, and we've all failed Jesus. Everyone has. Even the person that might just consider themselves as righteous. Know anyone like that? The good news is that Romans chapter 5 verse 8 says, "But God demonstrates his own love toward us, in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us." This Easter season, this Holy Week, remember that Christ died for you. You were worth dying for in Jesus' eyes. Despite what you may think of yourself, despite what you may have done in the past, despite what you may be doing right now, you were worth dying for. And believe it or not, our sinfulness is what draws Jesus to us. The fact that we are sinners, the fact that we have betrayed him, the fact that we are not cleansed, we don't come to him holy and pure, is the very essence that draws Jesus to us. And let that bring you hope as you think about Easter today and over the next several days, as you get your heart and your mind ready for Resurrection Sunday. That does it for this episode, Betrayed by Me. Join us tomorrow as we continue these thoughts here on this Holy Week podcast, sponsored by Shoal Creek Baptist Church. Thanks for tuning in.